Hello everyone, Brother Yubby here, bringing you the NPDA Elite 8 matchup. So, if you've seen the last video, go check it out. We did end up winning, that's why this video is coming out. And this time we are facing off against Comit and his Nashville Sound Dunes. His team is on the screen right now very quickly. It's right in the middle. He has the Z Excadrill, Mega Altaria, Hippowdon, Reuniclus, Conkeldurr, Jellicent, Rotom Heat, and Drapion. So, this is going to be a team builder and a review of the match. So I will quickly go over my initial thoughts to his team and then the team that I am bringing. So first thought is Z Excadrill in the sand can be very scary, especially when you pair it up with Mega Altaria. Mega Altaria getting up a Dragon Dance, there's not much that really comes in on, especially Pixelate boosted returns or even facades. So that's something to worry about. Conkeldurr could come. Initially, when you look at team matchup, Mega Sableye really does well against it, so I don't see it coming, but it could come. And his fastest Pokemon is Drapion. I could see him bringing a Choice Scarf Rotom or a Choice Scarf Drapion, both of which could very well come, both of which I have to scout out for. But his fastest Pokemon base speed total is Drapion at 95. And with my team, I have a very quick team, so I'm not going to need to run very much speed on it in order to outspeed a lot of his threats. And we'll see what I can kind of do for the Excadrill. So, now that we see his team, and if anyone is wondering, my team is the Celesteela, Zygarde, Reuniclus, Mienshao, Mega Sableye, Roserade, Tornadus Therian, Z Tornadus Therian, and the Electrode. So, we'll jump right into the team that I brought. So, first on the screen is our Jolly Green Giant Celesteela, holding the leftovers, and it is basically a Spadef variant in order to guarantee to take 2 Fire Blasts from a Mega Altaria, and then the rest is in physical defense, so I can take hits from the Conkeldurr and a physical Mega Altaria very well. It's my main Mega Altaria check, and I can pretty much OHKO it with a Heavy Slam. Or I could Leech Seed Protect and kind of stall it down, so it's not the biggest problem. Next, I am bringing a Lumberry Zygarde. It is a Coil variant, so I am outspeeding a max speed Excadrill this set, I believe. If not, I am most certainly outspeeding a max speed Altaria. It should be Excadrill. And it is Coil, 1000 Arrows, Iron Tail, and Extreme Speed. Coil not only boosts my attack and defense, but also my accuracy, so I can pretty much guarantee hitting Iron Tail. A +1 Iron Tail OHKOs a max HP variant of a Mega Altaria. And 1000 Arrows hits everything on his team that I don't hit with Iron Tail. And Extreme Speed is there in case I need to pick something off. Next, so that is one of my biggest win conditions is my Zygarde. My other big win condition is my Roserade. If you look at his team, he has absolutely nothing that switches into Roserade's dual stabs that is not pretty much one-hit KO'd by Hidden Power Water. So on his team, what switches into a Sludge Bomb? His Excadrill. Possibly a specially defensive Rotom Heat, possibly his Hippowdon. If Drill comes in, Hidden Power Water is super effective. If Hippowdon comes in, Hidden Power Water is super effective. If Rotom wants to come in, Hidden Power Water is super effective. I can also Giga Drain a Jellicent. I can Giga Drain the Hippowdon. I can Giga Drain the Excadrill. Nothing on his team is not almost one-hit KO'd by my Roserade. And I am max special attack. I have a ton of speed. I am outspeeding a max speed, I believe, Altaria. Yes, that should be about what I'm outspeeding. Or no, I'm outspeeding an Adamant non-Scarf Drapion with this set. And I have Sleep Powder there just in case I want to go and try and put something to sleep and I don't want to overpredict. Next, I am bringing a FlyMZ Tornadus Therian with Regenerator, of course, 136 HP, 20 defense, 252 special attack, 100 speed, modest nature. 100 speed outspeeds everything on his team, barring a Choice Scarf user. I am running a mixed set, although I am running modest. Superpower is still, after either Hurricane or Knockoff, is an OHKO on the Excadrill. Knockoff is there to take away items. Hurricane is there basically because I'm running FlyMZ, so I can Sky Strike something, and Sludge Wave is there for the Altaria. Next, I am bringing a Life Orb Mienshao Regenerator. I do not need the extra damage output from Reckless. I 2-hit KO everything on his team. I'm running U-Turn, Knockoff, Poison Jab, and High Jump Kick. I think this is going to be a really big momentum bringer for me, I can U-turn out on a lot of his threats and get Regenerator back even after I take Life Orb damage. It's really nice. Next and the last addition to the team, the last Pokemon in the slot isn't always the last addition, but this time it was. It's a Mega Sableye, max HP, has a lot of defense, physical defense, and some special defense. This is my main kind of scout for his team, and my main drill switch, kind of a decent drill switch in. I can Will-O-Wisp a lot of his team, and a lot of his team does not like getting Will-O-Wisped. I can knock off, Shadow Sneak, recover, and this is kind of a decent special switch in to his Rotom Heat as well. So, with that being said, we will jump right into the match. So, on my side, I have the Celesteela, Tornadus, Zygarde, Mienshao, Roserade, and the Mega Sableye. And we see on his side, he brings the Excadrill, the Mega Altaria, the Jellicent, the Hippowdon, Drapion, and the Rotom Heat. So Pokemon he does not bring are the Conkeldurr and the Reuniclus. We actually both did not bring our Reunicli, however you want to say it. We both didn't bring ours. I think we kind of had a similar mentality going into this match, and Reuniclus didn't have a good matchup, which it didn't. A Reuniclus doesn't really have the greatest of matchups against my team. Possibly a Calm Mindset could have done well, but I really didn't have much use for Reuniclus against his team, especially considering his Drapion. So, we will jump right into the match now. I decide to lead right off with my Mienshao. I can U-turn out on anything. And that's exactly what I do. He probably switches in there to his Jellicent to try and catch a high jump kick, but nope. See Curse Body go off, so that means he's not Water Absorb. I can fire off Empower Waters very freely. I miss a Sleep Powder, not the biggest of deals. It sucks because he's able to now get up the Substitute, and Roserade could have done a little bit of work. He knocks off my leftovers. You see it does 24%, and I can just Earthquake and kind of get rid of that. Here I expect the Rotom switch in, so I go right for the Leech Seed, and here I can just Protect and get back to about 98%. I think I'm getting about 12% back from him. So I do that, and nothing on my team really likes coming into the Rotom. So I go right into my Sableye as he Volt Switches. Great play on his end. And now he can go into anything. He goes into his Drapion, actually, so I'm expecting some sort of, basically anything, but he sets up sub. I had no way of breaking his sub. I could have thrown up a Will-O-Wisp, but it wouldn't have been able to go through the sub, and he outsped me. My Earthquake breaks the sub, and as long as I can bring Roserade in, the Toxic Spike doesn't matter. Here I expect him to actually substitute again, and here I should have expected him. Here, I made a middle ground play. You see I go for Heavy Slam. Heavy Slam was middle ground play because it did about 50% to the Drapion, and it hit everything that he may have wanted to bring in. I didn't want him going for a substitute on my Leech Seed, although I really shouldn't have been too afraid of that, considering the worst case scenario is he sets up a sub and can't do any damage to me, and I then break his sub. So in reality, he just would have been losing some health if I went for Leech Seed, and I should have gone for Leech Seed, but I went for Heavy Slam, and I did 9% to this Rotom. So he basically gets that back with the recovery. I go for Protect to kind of see what he wants to go for. He reveals Volt Switch, so and he's also leftovers, so it's good to know that neither the Drapion nor the Rotom are Choice Scarf. So that means my entire team, barring a Choice Scarf Excadrill, can lose here, basically. I can't be outsped. And here I just go for a knockoff. I was sacking off my Sableye at this point, but decided to switch his drill out. And here I just get some Shadow Sneak damage on him. Not the biggest of deals. And that gives me Roserade. Roserade gets Hidden Power Water right here. Pretty much gets a kill, but that is a very specially bulky Drapion. It's basically max for it to be able to take it that well. I switch out, get to go into my Celesteela, which is perfectly fine. I go for the Leech Seed now, realizing that if he goes for a sub, he's not going to be able to do anything. And here I just go for an Earthquake. It's very safe. He switches out, which, I mean, it worked, but I still ended up losing 6% of his health in that regard. Here, I kind of want to explain myself, because you look at his team and you think Celesteela still has a very good matchup. Well, I'm still breaking subs on his Drapion if he can actually get back above 25%. And I'm still doing about 50% to an Altaria with Heavy Slam if I'm burnt. So I'm not too terribly worried about getting burnt here. I just want to get Leech Seed off on this Rotom, and I want to start whittling it down. I want to break this Rotom, because once I break this Rotom, I can freely switch into whatever I want to on his team. There's nothing that really worries me. So I go for a Leech Seed. I'm perfectly free just to go for a Protect. I have no qualms doing it. I Protect. He Pain Splits. He's going to go down to about 24%. Since he's going for a Pain Split, I get to go into my Roserade. Also, I want to note that since he showed Pain Split with Will-O-Wisp, he showed Volt Switch, and he showed Thunderbolt at this point. He has no way to hit my Roserade, so Roserade is a very free switch into this Rotom every single time now, and I have absolutely no problems doing that because every time Roserade comes in now, I get a kill. There's nothing on his team that outspeeds me, barring a Scarf Excadrill that can beat me, that can take any 2 hits from me. At this point, maybe even 1 hit. So Roserade comes in very, very freely, and I just go for the hidden power. Actually, I go for Sludge Bomb here because Sludge Bomb at that range killed the Rotom, and it would have hit the Jellicent coming in. So he goes for a substitute. We see that he's Subdrill, so he is not Scarf Drill, which is perfectly fine. He was very ballsy bringing it in there against my Roserade. I could have OHKO'd him with a Hidden Power Water, but he ends up OHKOing my Tornadus. I was very confused during the match that killed, but I forgot I got the defense drop from Superpower. I also decided to Superpower his substitute instead of Knockoff, because Knockoff, if he was bulky or bulkier, if he had about 120 HP investment, my Knockoff had a chance to not break the sub, and I needed to make sure the sub was gone so that my Roserade could come in and claim another kill with Hidden Power Water. So, get the Hidden Power Water kill. Roserade claims its 2nd kill of the match. He brings in his Altaria here, and here I'm going to explain this. I Sludge Bomb because unless he is max HP, max Spadef, he does not live. And you can see from that damage, or given that calc. So I will run the calc very quickly and show you the calc. So I will go to Roserade. I will go to a blank set. I was 252. I was Timid. I was Life Orb. And I had Sludge Bomb. So, against an Altaria, a regular Altaria, blank set, 248 HP, I'm doing 50 to 60%, and you see that damage on his Altaria was 60%. So at the very minimum, so say I got a max damage roll there, an absolute max damage roll. If he is a Mega Altaria, I guarantee a kill 100% of the time. So in this league, in this tournament, you are forced to Mega Evolve first turn unless you are Mega Sharpedo. That was the rule. I'm fine with it. I don't like Mega Pokemon not having to Mega Evolve first turn. Helps me out. That's one of the reasons I always Mega Evolve my Sableye first turn, is because I'm not going to be able to get I don't get Prankster, which is kind of a hindrance for Sableye. I'd love to have Prankster before I Mega Evolve, which is kind of a hindrance for it. But since he didn't Mega Evolve, and he ends up, thankfully, he Dragon Danced here, so we didn't have to replay. So basically what ends up happening is, it says in the rules that any breach of the rules results in a 2-0 forfeit loss. I didn't want that. The owner of the league didn't want that. Since we're in brackets, we're in the top 8. Neither of us want that. None of us want that. And he just made a mistake reading the rules, which is perfectly fine. I don't care, as long as I get my kill. So basically, the owner of the league came in. You'll see it on the right in a moment. I won't pause on it, but it is there if you want to pause the video, where he tells my opponent Comit to Dragon Dance again, and I just Sludge Bomb again, which basically just takes out the Mega Altaria, which is, it's great, but I would have taken it out anyway, and I'm basically just at 9.9% less health than I would have been had he Mega Evolved. But I'm perfectly fine with this. It doesn't end up coming into play in the long run. So he Dragon Dances again, I Sludge Bomb. Roserade picks up its 3rd kill of the match. And in comes the Jellicent. I Giga Drain, which is perfectly fine. It lives and Curse Bodies me, which kind of sucks. He Ice Beams, not going to kill me, less than 50%. I Sludge Bomb here because it would have killed the Jellicent. The Hippowdon comes in. I'm still disabled, so I'm switching out 100% of the time because this is my win condition at this point. Celesteela comes in. He slacks off, and I'm going to Leech Seed. Leech Seed guarantees me basically a win. So I Leech Seed on the Rotom switching. Perfectly fine, just protecting here to wear him down even more. So we do that. We kind of exchange him Pain Splitting. So here, if he wants to predict my Zygarde to come in, he will just burn my Lumberry, basically. But he Thunderbolts. not a big deal. If he pain split, he would have gotten up to a very good amount of health, but I would have been able to coil. Although I couldn't do much to the Hippowdon anyway, and you'll see the Hippowdon does have Roar. So here I go for my Leech Seed on the Hippowdon as he sets up rocks, and here's where he's going to try and start phasing me out, and I think he doesn't know exactly what percent my Roserade is at, or at least this is one thing, because if he takes out Roserade, he actually has a chance to stall out my team, but thankfully Roserade is at enough health to where it lives a Stealth Rock switch in. I just keep going into my Zygarde, because if Zygarde comes in, I basically either force him to roar me out or to slack off, because I'm going to end up setting up a coil, and I do about 40% with 1,000 arrows to him. So he does end up getting my Roserade here, but I get the Leech Seed recovery, and I get Giga Drain, and I get back up to about 50% after the Life Orb hit. Giga Drain claims Roserade. Roserade gets its 4th kill, and now Roserade gets its 5th kill of the match, and your Amherst Accelgors continue on to the Final 4 of the NPDA tournament. I would like to thank everyone that has followed on this far. I would like to thank Comit for the match. He played very, very well, and I think I had a great team matchup. Immediately at matchup, Roserade ran through his team, and I think I had a very favorable matchup. And I actually, the more I play with this team, this is our 9th match now with this team, the more I use this team, the more I love this team, the more I see the weaknesses of this team, but also the more I see the ways to patch up the weaknesses. And it's becoming very, very apparent that I have a very good team here, and I really like this team. So I'd like to thank everyone who has followed me in the video and maybe in this tournament so far, and I'd like to thank Comit again for the match, and just I hope I can see you all in the Final 4. So thank you very much. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to. I'm going to get on out of here, and I will see you in the Final 4. Have a great day.